What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video, and welcome to your stimulus package update and daily news report for Thursday, January 27th. So we actually have some interesting things that have come out this morning. We got a new report for our U.S. economic growth at 5.7%, which is a big boost. We got news on Obamacare. We are record levels of new entries into that. We got updates on the stimulus package, so I want to break down everything that is currently going on this morning. First off, just want to thank you guys for watching. If you could and you enjoy these daily uploads, please do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button, as it really does help out the channel. Now, let's get into the update. Yesterday, President Biden, he met with 10 private sector executives. Now, one White House official stated that these executives were trying to highlight what they see as the key benefits of the Build Back Better Act for the American economy and American businesses. Obviously, they are business executives. That's what they're there for. The purpose of this meeting was to simply figure out what has support from business leaders. That was it. So, President Biden, he knows that the Build Back Better Act must be split up. It's not going to pass as a full transformative bill, the big bill that progressives were wanting. He knows that, but he doesn't know exactly how far the bill needs to be broken down. That's where he's struggling. That's where many Democrats don't know what pieces should they put into the bill. Where should they start? One strategist said that the Build Back Better Act 2.0 is likely going to emerge sometime between February 18th and March 1st. That's where he's saying this is when it's going to pass. The reason for this, it's actually pretty simple. March 1st is President Biden's State of the Union address. February 18th, that is the expiration of the government funding stopgap bill. So that's the reason why they're giving this time frame. Because a bill must pass before or on February 18th. But President Biden and Democrats, they want something for President Biden to go to the State of the Union address and talk about this. Applaud what just happened. This would be huge. As for a win for Democrats, especially with this upcoming election, that could be a huge win for Democrats. But at the same time, are Republicans going to try to block this? We don't know. But just because there's a date in mind doesn't mean this is when the bill is for sure going to pass. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy to get to that point. We know that. And over the past couple of days, we have learned that the child tax credit payments that were many very much support, these are going to be cut from the bill. And it's because of Senator Joe Manchin. It's because of other senators as well. Republicans, they understand providing some form of assistance to families. A child tax credit payment. Right now it's $2,000 and you get it when you file your taxes. Okay. But the thing that many people don't realize is that in order to send out a monthly payment, just the administrative fees behind it can be very expensive. So that's one of the reasons why Republicans and some moderates don't want to see a monthly payment. Yes, they understand that would be very beneficial, but at the same time they say it's just so expensive. And going from $2,000 to either $3,000 or $3,600, that's even too much, according to some. So we'll see what happens there. But we learned from multiple senators that isn't the only thing that they are opposing. Many are opposing the SALT tax cap increase. So this has been scrubbed from the bill as well. This is according to Senator Bernie Sanders, that this is out. There's no way this is going to pass because lawmakers are trying to go after billionaires and the ultra wealthy to get them to pay for this bill. But at the same time, if then they go and they provide pretty much a tax credit, for the ultra wealthy in a different way, then this doesn't make any sense. So that's what they're arguing at this point. But, and I've said this over the past few weeks, the key is inflation and dealing with COVID. Experts say that if the Build Back Better Act 2.0 can tackle those two issues, then it's likely going to pass: inflation and dealing with COVID. Climate is important, but those are the two things. Those are the two things that everyone says has to be addressed. Now, even President Biden said that the U.S. faces some real challenges, including inflation, and he went on to say, and I quote, "We've got to get prices in check for working people out there. And that's why the last component of my plan is so important, and why the support of these incredible business leaders means so much." Now, Microsoft's executive stated yesterday, and I quote, "What we see is that we need to do more to help bring Americans back to work. And one of the key ingredients that we see, whether it's for our employees or everybody's employees, is that people can only come to work if they have a way to take care of their children." I've said this for months, okay? For many months, that childcare has been such an issue. It's been such an issue. People cannot go to work, and it's causing many problems. Even with a child care tax credit of $4,000 per child, up to 2 children, so a total of $8,000. Many families just couldn't afford to send their children to childcare because it didn't make sense to send their child to a daycare center when the parent wasn't even making that much money to go and pay for it. So it just didn't make sense. Now, this is one of the common problems across the United States. This isn't new. This is also why lawmakers are set to provide more for children and parents, because this is seen as the best way to get people back to work, to improve our economy, and get back to our normal lives. But keep in mind that Republicans, some moderates, even Senator Ron Johnson, believe it's not society's responsibility to take care of people's children. And let me ask you this, and I am all for, children and parents, making sure they're taken care of, but do you think it is the responsibility of others to help take care of somebody's child? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, let's get into the talks about our economy and levels of employment. Currently, 12 states have restored their employment back to pre-COVID levels. This is going back from February 2020, and it's using the data from December 2021. Now, these states include Oregon, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, Wisconsin, Utah, Arizona, Kansas, Oklahoma, Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. These are the 12 states that are at pre-COVID levels of employment. That's great. Meanwhile, 20 states and Washington, D.C. are within 50,000 jobs of fully recovering. That's big, because we know from the Federal Reserve, we are at maximum employment. That's really good. And now the rest of the states, they are only behind by roughly 3.5 million jobs. However, New York, Pennsylvania, and California is where the concentration of job openings are currently at. And just California alone, they are currently off by roughly 750,000 jobs until they reach pre-COVID levels. Now, data does show that most missing jobs are located on the coast. So, we'll see what happens there, but as of right now, it is looking up. Our economy is looking better, but again, some say we're seeing two different economies, two different paths. We got the middle income earners and upper earners. They're seeing good growth. They're seeing jobs coming back. Everything is going back to normal. But then you got the lower income earners, people that are on fixed incomes. Their economy isn't coming back as quickly, and they're seeing more negative impacts because of what's going on in inflation. So it is looking like two different economies. The problem is our government, the Federal Reserve, they all lump them together and say, no, everything is looking just great. But as we both know, that's not the case. Some people are doing really good. Other people are still needing some additional help. So we'll see what happens there. Reports also out this morning showed that the U.S. economy grew by 5.7% in 2021. This is the fastest full-year clip since 1984. Now, this growth, though, was partly fueled by government spending, stimulus, which seems like, it's going to be ending very soon. The Federal Reserve said they are already going to be tightening their monetary policy, and so we will see what happens there. This economic growth, though, it created a record 6.4 million jobs in 2021, which we have seen the highest inflation in 40 years due to additional stimulus, additional spending, and wages. And all this was still happening with a slew of complications, such as supply chain issues, worker shortages, and multiple COVID surges. Now, even though we're still not out of this pandemic, many experts are saying that they are anticipating a strong 2022. However, we will still see supply chain issues, we will still have worker shortages, and we are already at maximum employment. So, even though they are expecting to have a strong 2022, it most likely won't be at a rate of 5.7%. So, just understand, we will still see economic growth, but probably not at that clip, which is fine. According to experts, that is fine, but we have to get inflation under control. Now, something else that was announced this morning. President Biden said that a record 14.5 million people signed up for health insurance, health coverage, through the Affordable Care Act in 2022. And he went on to say, and I quote, "This did not happen by accident. The American Rescue Plan did more to lower costs and expand access to health care than any action since the passage of the Affordable Care Act," which it did. This bill, the American Rescue Plan, it did help lower the cost of health coverage to millions of Americans, which is one of the reasons why many people actually signed up for it. So, that's what we know at this time. Again, there's a lot of discussions on what's coming next. The stimulus package isn't done. The Build Back Better Act, or Build Back Better Act 2.0, is not done. They're going to continue negotiations. But even though they're going to try to get it done, probably within the next month, the issue is the Senate also has to take up the potential nominee for the Supreme Court opening. There's going to be an open seat because Judge Breyer, he is going to retire. But that probably won't be until June. So just understand the Senate will have multiple things that they're taking up. We will see what their priorities are. But as of right now, that's what we know. So as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on, share all latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.